Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining this 2030 Builders webinar. I hope everyone is keeping safe and healthy during these uncertain times. It's cool that we have these digital tools to still connect with those interested in knowing more about 2030 Builders and our products. My name is Frederick, so I head up our partnerships and events, and I'm especially grateful that we can still connect with you guys. We're just going to give you a minute or two to log in. We had another webinar earlier, so there was just a few kind of black screen difficulties in the beginning. So we'll just kind of let you settle in. I know that it's sort of a weird time for many people. A lot of people are getting laid off. Some people have never had less work to do, and some people have never had more work to do. So I'm also kind of curious to hear how you guys are getting on. But yeah, we'll just we'll give it another kind of minute or so, and then I'll hand it over to our founder Mia, who's going to give you an introduction into 2030 Builders, our sustainability alignment product. And after that, we'll have time to do a bit of Q&A. But obviously, I encourage you to throw any questions at us during the presentation, and we'll make sure to make as much time as possible for your questions afterwards. And then obviously this webinar will be recorded, so you'll have a chance to see it again. And obviously, we hope to engage with you further going forward. So Mia, I think we'll just we'll wait another minute, and then I'll hand things over to you. But maybe perhaps you want to say a few words as
yeah,
well.
Sure. Welcome everybody. I'm actually very excited to be here, and grateful that you decided to spend this half an hour with us. Frederick, maybe you also should mention that to people that the Chrome is working, or like the Chrome browser, or like what was the problem earlier?
Yeah, I think there was a few people using Firefox who couldn't see anything, but like it was working well on Chrome and Safari. So I'm not seeing any comments coming in yet. Yeah, let's just give it another minute, and then I guess we can get things started here. But yeah, people are also just welcome to share a hello, and yeah, then we know that you're there.
Yeah, again, very grateful that you decided to spend this time with us and take a look at what we are trying to do right now. So we know that these are kind of like uncertain times, and we foresee that probably sustainability and CSR will either see some budget cuts, or maybe in some companies lose a little bit on the priority. But what we would like to underline with our product is that while there might be budget cuts, what we try to do it is to actually bring inside the companies a tool that can crowdsource ideas, both for resource optimization but also for new business cases. So I think putting to use all the employees and all the human resources capabilities that companies have to think how we better can transition towards green business models in a lean way. There's no better use for budgets than this, I would say. I would, Frederick, if you give it a go, then I would just jump into it.
Yeah. I mean, we had one guy who just had a few issues, but I think I'd say to anyone, just try and refresh the page. There's a slight delay. So there's 2 minutes from when we've said something to you see it. So it's not, so you'll still have time to kind of, you won't miss out on too much. But I think it appears that we can get started. So I'll hand it over to you again, Mia, to give an introduction to 2030 Builders.
Yes, thank you. So I'll do a short introduction to 2030 Builders, then take you into a speedy presentation of our demo, and then leave you some times for questions. I think Frederick already said if you have questions, type them in, and then he will take them over, and we will repeat the questions for the entire audience so that you guys see what it is. But 2030 Builders, it is a startup that initiated in Copenhagen by me and my co-founder, Gabriela. But we have been so lucky to onboard on our purpose more than 14 team members that are helping us with our mission to bring sustainability and the 17 Sustainable Development Goals to all companies and all employees in order to enable the co-creation of new idea and enable the sustainable decision making. This webinar is for companies that are probably have a strategy. They're thinking already in which direction they want to go with their sustainability mission, but they need something to onboard everybody in to roll out the strategy to their employees. For those other companies that want to unlock the business value through SDG initiatives. So as I was saying earlier, not only looking at the risk, that are coming behind the sustainability, but also at the business opportunities. Also, for those that think it's very important that all their employees understand what sustainability is, in order to take sustainable decision making, in order to take this sustainable decisions, and also to be prepared, to think sustainability in anything, that they do at work. Also, for those companies that think that engaging employees, motivating them by giving them a tool and access to work with something that they're passionate about will mean a higher productivity. And also maybe for those companies that are looking into initiating their green business transformation. If you're any of those, then that would be great to hear from you. Our secret formula, or how we create value, is by bringing expert knowledge. So we have a lot of research that we bring in from the general field or the sustainability field, and then we combine that with your specific case, your company's specific case. Then we engage teams in creating a tailored plan that through a problem-solving methodology. So our methodology combines co-creation, gamification, change management, and nudging for behavioral change in order to deliver business value. And everything is collaborative because we think that collaboration is actually motivating people, but also more brains is better than just one. The benefits we deliver on are, of course, sustainability understanding. We think that SDG knowledge, so sustainability understanding means understanding why sustainability matters. We get everybody on board so they understand the concepts, they understand what we are talking about, what do we mean when we say carbon neutral, what do we mean when we say SDGs and other concepts that are important. If we don't speak the same language, if we don't understand the same concepts, then we cannot deliver to the big mission. SDG knowledge. Some companies choose to look at the SDGs as the framework that show them both the risk areas, but also the opportunity areas. And we are very much aware that some other companies, they just want to look into sustainability through, for example, Brundtland's definition, or just simple concepts, that are coming into, let's say, the manufacturing process. But for those that think SDGs are important and that bringing that knowledge to their employees, their teams, team managers, will give them actually an opportunity to find the business opportunity behind it, then we have a module directly towards that. Strategic alignment. Again, we know that companies are trying to put in their strategy and unfold that towards their employees by sending an email on the intranet or using their own internal communication app. But what we think that we do with our tool is that we bring everybody on board, we bring everybody together, be it in the same room, be it remotely in the same game room, where they actually can understand and buy into the strategy with their own pledges, with their own commitment, so that when they leave the room, they're actually decided on, okay, I know where we're going and I know what I have to do. Sustainable decision making. If we're not upskilling our employees, if we don't make everybody understand what sustainability is, what the SDGs are, we cannot expect them to think solutions inside the company, to take decisions when it comes to procurement, when it comes to material choice, when it comes to even, for example, how to recycle or how to reuse the things inside. We cannot expect that from our employees if we're not giving them the right tools, if we're not giving them the right knowledge. And that's why we think into speedy, accelerated process, bringing everybody at the same level would give the opportunity for the people to take sustainable decisions. Our tool solution, it is a digital tool. So it is not an app. I know you will see a phone and a tablet out there, but people will be guided from a main screen, and they will send inputs from their phones, but they will just have to access a link. So it's a web application. It's not an app that needs download. So that means the integration, it's very easy. It's a cloud-based platform, and that allows us to build up very easily customizable content, which means that you as a company would be incentivized to bring in your own mission, to fit in your own information, your own questions, so you make the process relevant for your team. But we have created these modules that are coming like Lego pieces in a plug-and-play solution, where you will decide what you want to use from what we give you and where do you want to change the content. There's a digital facilitator, which means you don't have to hire a consultant, you don't have to bring us in, you don't have to do anything as maybe a CSR manager, but you just put the things on the screen, and then the screen will facilitate the journey of the participants. In the same time, you have the possibility to gather insights from the participants. You will understand what each game room, each team think it's more important, what is threatening, what is it that they care about, what kind of ideas they get. And all this comes in a digital report that you can use afterwards, either to fit in stories in your CSR report, or to understand where is it that people are already thinking about solutions that might give an actionable point, right? Where is it that people are incentivized to take action, to act even more on that? Why us? Again, we are not an e-learning solution. We are a collaborative learning. We care a lot to empower as many companies and many employees to speak Sustainish, to learn and understand the concepts of sustainability, because only like that we can create an impact. And the impact in our tool is it's also drawn on the analytics that we gather from what people think it's more important. When I was talking about the plug-and-play solution, again, I guess you will have a better understanding of how that works when we will get further into the product demo. So with this, Frederick, I would like to go into the product demo. So I'll stop sharing this screen and go to show you a little bit some insights from the product itself, where I will take you again through a journey of understanding, how the tool works. So when you see this type of screen, I hope everybody sees this. This means that you are looking at what the participant sees on their phone. And then the full screen means that that's what appears on the big screen. Please be reminded that what you will see in this demo, it is a couple of screens selected. I think it's maybe a tenth of what we have developed. And this, I'm using it just to give a couple of examples from the methodology that we use. So don't look at the processor itself, because we are skipping from screen 1 to 5 and 20. So probably will not make that much sense, why we're going from this to this. But again, if you would like to see exactly how the tool is interactive and how it works, you have the possibility to book a free trial with us. Again, I would like to mention something, because we've been asked before if the product is also available in Danish, and it is. So I chose to do the presentation in English because I am proficient in English, a little bit better than in Danish, and this is a business presentation and not a comedy show. If I would have done it in Danish, it would have probably been a comedy show. With that being said, let's jump into the demo and seeing here what the participants are seeing when they come inside the room, and they will have to log in. They have the possibility to choose an avatar, which are, of course, some endangered animal, just so we connect them a little bit better with the problematics of sustainability. And this is how we will see who is in the specific game room. Again, when we're talking about these game rooms, you as, let's say, project manager of this or a contractor, you have the possibility to create your own game rooms and decide who should be in that game room. So it can be that it's maybe a team meeting, a strategy day, or it can be that it's maybe a specific department that needs to meet in this room, where people are either in the same room or they are all over the place. Doesn't matter, they will have the same experience. So the gamification that we're using in our process, it is also a storytelling. So that's why we're using a character, which will also be the facilitator, Hope, the little girl that comes back from the future to onboard the participants into her quest. And Hope would also have a voice, both in English and in Danish and other languages that we might be solicited in. When I was talking about the plug-and-play solutions, what you see now on the screen are the 4 steps, the 4 modules that you, for now, because we have many others coming up, for now you can opt in by yourself. So the onboarding, it's a prerequisite for everybody to come in and to understand, like, why are they in the room, why are they going through this story, and the strategic alignment is something where we bring the specific case of the company, of what it is wanted at the end of this journey, of this quest. But sustainability understanding and SDG knowledge are 2 modules that you can either choose to get together, or you can choose to get only one of them. So this, you have a lot of flexibility into building up your own journey. We make an easy introduction for the participants to see what is coming up in this module, so this is the strategic alignment, where we tell them, okay, our company, as an example, has a mission to become carbon neutral by 2030, or we just want to reduce waste, in the way we produce, or we want to recycle this. So we will make this process that you can actually choose your own mission, for the people coming into the room. So here it's a lot of customization opportunity for the company. And then we try to make people to pledge towards some action, not pledge, but just say, okay, out of this, how can you contribute? What can you do in order to help us here? We put up some examples on the screen, but of course the examples are not for a specific mission, but they're just like things that people in general think that they might do in order to become more sustainable, right? But after we align strategically with them, we take them further into the sustainability understanding. And the way we want to explain sustainability to your employees is by taking them through what the global challenges are, why we need to become sustainable, why we need to work with sustainability already today, what is coming up on us as humanity, and why sustainability is the answer to that. Then we will do a sustainability explanation with the definition. We use Brundtland, the 3 layers, people, planet, profit. For some of our clients, we developed also an area called Planetary Boundaries that you will have a short glimpse into, but that you can also opt out of it. If you are an engineering company or a chemical company, This might be relevant for your employees, but in some other areas, you might just find that that people don't necessarily need to know that. And from this journey, we jump into what is exactly happening locally that we need to take a look into, and how can we take sustainable decisions. I'm just going to go fast through showing, okay, these are the global challenges that we're going to touch upon, so people understand what comes behind it. And please be aware that the global challenges are identified in a way into the Sustainable Development Goals, but they are not the same. As you might see here, space, it's something, learning is something that maybe, I mean, learning you find, but space is something not, and security are not something that we find in the SDG as such. How do people get accustomed with the global challenges? They will be asked to guess some of the realities in the world, right? How many people live without electricity? And then they will have to get a guess. Our purpose is not to shame people for replying correctly or not, but give them some insights on how aware are they of the challenges coming upon us. Then here, it's a point where we actually will gather some of the information for the final report that I was talking about, where we see which of the global challenging they think it's more pressing at their personal level, and also then we're going to look at the company level. And here we also bring the discussion in, because people will have the possibility discussing with each other in many occasions to understand each other better, to be brought to a different level of empathy, and in the same time to learn from each other from their perspectives. Here where you see customized questions, here you can actually bring in your own questions. So you might find your own data that it's very important for your employees, statistics related to your own company, to your own sector, to your own industry, that you think it might be relevant for them to be aware of. We go further in the journey, and we do explain sustainability through the 3 pillars. So we take people a little bit through the journey. They will see gamified on their phone, also guessing out how much they can buy with $1 in both Africa and Europe, and they will see this comparison. So all these steps are like a little bit of gamification and raising awareness, in between the participants. And of course, in any step, they will be discussed they will be asked to discuss what is their perspective on, how the company is dealing with this. How is it disconnected to sustainability? So in our methodology, we bring a lot the personal, individual perspective, the individual why. We bring that in connection with the company why, and with the global why, the world why. So making that interconnectivity, people will be much more incentivized to think that their little actions can actually have a global impact. Yeah, another gimmick, another gamification about the footprint, of the carbon, because we explain maybe in the mission that this is how we want to do, this is where we want to reach out with our carbon footprint, but then we need to make people also understand, what does that mean, right? And how can you equivalent that in trees or in whatever weekly consumptions they might have. You might also care to understand, like, how many of you people in your company care more about the social aspect of the sustainability, how many care more about the planet. So you would also have this kind of insights where you will see their responses. I'll go very fast through the planetary boundaries. Again, if you think that this is something relevant and you would like to see more, please get in contact with us, and we will show you more in depth, how the product works, or even set up a trial. Another gimmick about that makes people touch on the screen and choose how many planets they think, how many Earths they think we need to live like a Dane, and this would be the answer. And maybe some of us are also wondering how many will take if we were a Qatari person. And this would be the answer, of course. So the planetary boundaries can be explained as Earth pressure. So not a pressure like the global challenges from outside, but something that the planet brings in from inside. And discussions are very important for us in the process, because this is how we enable the collaborative learning, and this is how we make people understand better, like what would be priorities, how other people are seeing, sustainability and what is important, and of course if they are working in the same department, then they will have similar visions on what is important for them, and that's where maybe some collective ideas can also be being brought up to surface. These are the next steps that are coming into this module, where we are going through personal decision-making criteria, professional decision-making, and some behavioral changes. So what is it that we are expected to change in what we do today in order to have the impact that we want to have in 10 years? And shortly on the last module that we're having on the SDG knowledge, as you see, every module has a different kind of graphics, but we keep the same backbone for on the structure. And here our approach is to explain why the SDGs are important, what is it, how are they connected with sustainability, get them through a general introduction. It's a general knowledge. No one will come out a PhD from this module, but they will definitely have the possibility, they will be more curious to look into depth in this. Of course, there's going to be some gamification related to the SDGs. And at the end of the module, a pledge of action, where each professional will take up some decisions. They will pledge an action that they will start acting upon. So again, we try to bring up, this is just an examples. If you already have decided that you were working with the SDGs and they're important for your company, and you know what's the direction you want to take, then you can already bring that in front of your employees, of your teams, of your managers, and make them think very focused on that. But if not, they also can give their own impression of what they could do in this. So we also ask them, what do you think it's important for your company? Because I think it's interesting to take this perspective from all the employees and compare that with what probably the top leadership decided on. And that's to be seen as maybe the next step that the company can take on, where for sure they will know that their employees will be incentivized for it. And closer to the end of this, the ideas that the companies will write down in order to, that the employees will write down in order for the company to work on further on. I think this module shows a little bit how the SDGs are arranged, what are the areas, what are the industries, how the industries can work directly or indirectly with the SDGs. Again, something that is maybe important for some specific companies. But again, as we said, our purpose with this is to get the general knowledge in, to make people care about it, and to also think what they can do as individuals and professionals, and make a commitment. I think I kind of ran over time, but Frederick, I'm going to stop sharing the screen now. I'm done with the demo, and I'm ready to take questions from the audience.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll just do some really good questions. I just want to comment on the poll, because I asked participants whether the SDGs were a core part of their strategic focus. And out of 16, yes, was 62%, and 38% said no, which kind of sort of reflects a study last year. I think it was Nordic Sustainability were involved, and they were asking like how much companies knew about them, and that was like heavily in terms of like 70-something% that knew about them, but less so when they asked like were they actually working with the SDGs. So that's encouraging. And then 42% answered yes, that the Corona crisis was negatively affecting their sustainability efforts, that it's more about crisis management, but 58% say that the business case is more important than ever. But yeah, let's get to some of the questions. I'll just throw over in your screen, Mia.
Yeah.
One question is, when people are discussing, are they doing this digitally or in person?
Yeah, so when we first designed the product, we were envisioned that people would be in the same room. But with this new situation, we are actually adapting our product so that people will also be remote. So let's imagine that they will actually be in a remote room. So even if someone is online, they will have a discussion partner and they will have their own space where they can discuss with their partner. And we constantly change the discussion partner all over the process so that people can get to know as many of their colleagues' opinions.
Great. Another question is, how long do you expect an employee to work with this? So probably the question is, well, how long does this workshop take?
Process. Yeah, so depending on how many modules you want to get through and also how much of the knowledge, it's important for you. So yes, you can take out the planetary boundaries or not. But if you would take only the sustainability, so aligning, going into the strategy, this would take around 2 hours. If you want to go also through the SDG process, then this might take 3 hours. However, being a plug-and-play solution, you can also decide to, if you don't have a day to put that for, I don't know, teams, or they can also start doing one module at a time at the team meeting, right? Like a weekly team meeting or a monthly team meeting, if that's the case.
This is a very, very cool question. Have you made any adaptations of the tool to the current situation with the pandemic?
Yeah, so what we've done, actually, it is more this remote collaboration. So again, we said that our tool actually helps a lot of companies to not fly consultants, not fly their CSR manager all over in order to be able to, or their strategic, responsible to be able to roll out the strategy, of the company. So the remote aspect, it's even much more incorporated in our product right now. But also we are looking into if our methodology can be implementing for rolling out any pillar of the strategy. So not only the sustainability, but our focus, it is right now on sustainability and the SDGs because that's how we started. But yeah, of course, we need to adapt. And if you have any other suggestions that might help us, please shoot us an email or leave us a comment in the question section.
Yeah, exactly. We need customer input as well.
Yes.
Here's one. After using the tool, what's next? How do we go from the tools to having the SDGs to working with them more in depth?
Yeah. So I don't know if I mentioned this at the beginning, but in 2030 Builders, we initiated our journey with developing a design sprint digital tool. But then we got some feedback from the companies that before we get people to finding ideas in a design sprint and build up a strategy on that, we need to first get them aligned on the concept, and where we want to go, right, in order to find ideas. So that's why we develop also this strategy alignment product. So the way we envision the journey is very different based on where you are as a company. So for example, if you are a small to medium enterprise that has a strategic board, a couple of people that think, okay, now we need to build up a strategy for how we can work with the SDGs, then we'd probably suggest to you that you take first this product that we've been through, and then you go through the design sprint that we have in order to get up to reach out to the best implementable solution that is validated from a stakeholder perspective. If you are a company that has a mission already, for example, as I mentioned earlier, zero carbon neutral until 2030, then you put this mission to all your employees. You put them into game rooms as teams, as departments, right? How they normally work. Everybody gets aligned on what does this mean? What do we talk when we talk about sustainability? And then when they pledge the actions and the ideas and the commitments, you can see which specific department has actually ideas that could be transformed into actionable plans, into strategic solutions, to be it in circular economy, be it in optimization, or be it into new business opportunities. So then you can take the design sprint tool that we have into those teams where you give them the possibility to work in smaller groups to find out how their department can contribute either to the big mission or to a specific SDG. I hope I Yeah, it was a long answer, but I hope I answered.
That's perfectly fine, perfectly fine. I'm just looking at, there's actually a comment here as well, which we've actually gotten before as well, that we should make this available to the educational system, schools and universities. And that's actually feedback that I've gotten from meeting with different people. There's a question here. What data do you use to respond to the gamification questions? So I'm not sure if that's data sources that we use, or I guess it's also, maybe we could
I can
answer it in terms of how do we use the data.
Yeah. So I can reply to that. Our gamification, it's both a storytelling, so that people need to go through some steps, a quest, and they will receive rewards. We call them green coins, and with the green coins, they can help hope, to get there. And that's a part of gamification that we get no data in. Like, we don't compare, oh, this team got so many green coins and this team got so many green coins, because our gamification is not about competition, it's about collaboration. Then we have the gamification where you saw that people need to answer some questions, like related to global challenges, the quizzes. And there we gather information that you will receive in a report. So when you as a manager will go in to personalize your journey, right, and fill in your customized data, you will also see where you will receive the analytics from us. And you will see that, okay, 70% of the people think that water scarcity is one big risk for your company, or 30% of your employees think, or that specific team thinks, that the company should work with this specific goal, right? So all those things together with the ideas will come in the report. So you will have a dashboard where you can see those, and you can see, okay, the game room of product development team, we get this kind of inputs, this kind of responses. This is what people care about. This is what is most important for them. This is what they're scared about. And this is their ideas, right? So we are looking now into seeing if we should integrate that with maybe some business intelligence tools. But so far, everything is internal in our cloud, in our dashboard, and you can use that, as I said, in your report or in your, let's say, strategic decision-making further on. If I didn't answer the question, there was something other specific, please type back. I know we are running a little bit over time, but we have the time, so if you have to leave and you will receive the recording. If you still have questions, we are still here, and I will be very happy to take those. Else, please write to us or ask us for a trial where you can test out with your phone and the screen and 3 colleagues to see how the process works.
Yeah, well, you did actually answer it, because we got another question about what outputs in terms of knowledge collected. Like, will there be a report? So you answered that.
Yeah.
There was a question that this is most likely from someone internationally, whether it's possible to have it in other languages.
Chiara, yes, Chiara, thank you for joining. We are working on getting it also in Italian. We know that other countries are also requesting for this, and we're trying to get our tool as fast as possible also globally. We are working on that, so please try to give us a deadline, and maybe we can even co-create together. Build up together the tools that you need.
Yeah, and then I will leave you with a more challenging question here. Yeah. Would it be beneficial to explain how the carbon footprint of a product is calculated, so people get a sense of that?
So thank you for the question. We are actually, so what I haven't explained at the beginning of the product, I just said that we are building these plug and play modules, but we will have a life cycle assessment module into the green business. We will have a module on circular economy. We'll have a module on future fit. We are bringing even more knowledge about sustainability into our product, that again, you will have the possibility to plug it into a different game room, and take people through a longer journey if that's needed for them. So yes, we will also bring that in for relevance. But right now, we just feel that where humanity is, where the majority of the employees are in companies, are there where they just need to get a grasp of the basic understanding, and then have the curiosity and ask for even deeper exploration, where be assured we're working on gamifying it, on making it collaborative, and giving them the right methodology and the right terms in order to make people bring progress to sustainability inside the company.
Perfect. I've just thrown up our little slide on call to action. So, I mean, from my side, I can see that there are spots of blue just when I look up towards the sky. So I think we can wrap up here. But from my side, I want to thank everyone for attending. I want to thank everyone for the comments, feedback, and really good questions. That's testament to the interest that you guys are showing in our product, and we look forward to engaging with you in the future. So please get in touch. And from my side, wishing everyone a happy Friday, a good weekend, and I hope you enjoy your social distancing Easters with family and close ones.
Yes, also from my side, thank you very much again for joining and spending this time. Please be assured that we will go live in about a month, so we are still waiting for your feedback, for the inputs, for letting us know how we can help you better. What do you think it's missing in our product? What do you think it will make it even more exciting or even more relevant for what you're doing? And again, we are here to help. To accelerate whatever you're doing, to give you a tool, that can help you both in sending the right messages, but also collecting the right kind of answers. So please reach out to us. We just want to accelerate the 2030 agenda, and that's everything we stand for. So join us, subscribe to the newsletter, check out our website, get in touch however you think it's possible, and partner up.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Probably we're not gonna see you before Easter, so also a happy Easter to people, and enjoy, stay safe.
Okay. Bye. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thank you.